Imagine Sarah. She's a hardworking nurse from Texas, and for her entire life, she played strictly by the rules. The rules her parents drilled into her head since she was a teenager. Work hard, pay your bills on time, and always tuck a piece of every paycheck into your savings account. For 15 years, Sarah did exactly that. She faithfully deposited $500 every single month into her Standard Bank savings account. She wasn't born rich. To make that deposit, she sacrificed. She said no to expensive summer vacations. She drove the same aging Honda Civic long after her friends upgraded to shiny new SUVs. She did all of this to watch that safe balance slowly climb on her banking app. And eventually, she did it. She hit the six-figure mark, $100,000 sitting safely in the bank. She should have felt incredibly proud. She had won the game, right? But one Tuesday afternoon, while pumping gas and scrolling through an email about the rising tuition costs for her daughter's upcoming college semester, a harsh, terrifying reality hit her. Her $100,000 was losing its power. While her bank patted her on the back with a meager $10 to $50 a year in interest, record inflation had silently slashed thousands of dollars off her actual purchasing power. The cost of gas, groceries, housing, and education had skyrocketed, leaving her safe pile of cash desperately behind. Sarah had followed all the traditional financial rules, yet she was still falling behind. Because out of a deep-seated fear of Wall Street, and lingering memories of past market crashes, she had locked her money in a vault. This isn't just Sarah's story. It is the silent reality for millions of hardworking Americans. We are conditioned from childhood to believe that a standard savings account is the ultimate finish line for financial responsibility. But the uncomfortable truth is this: saving alone is just a slow way to go broke. And if you have money sitting in a bank account right now, doing nothing, you need to hear what comes next. We are going to break down how to transition from simply hoarding cash to actually building wealth without losing sleep at night. To understand how to escape this trap, we first have to understand the fundamental difference between saving and investing. Think of saving your money like stuffing cash under a mattress. Sure, putting it in a bank is a slightly more secure mattress, but the concept is the same. It feels incredibly safe because the number on the screen never goes down. But there is an invisible thief called inflation in the room. Every single day, that thief sneaks in and takes a fraction of what that money can buy. It's safe from the stock market, yes, but it is guaranteed to lose value over time. Investing, on the other hand, is like planting an apple orchard. When you buy the seeds and plant them in the dirt, it doesn't look like much. In fact, it looks messy. You have to wait. You will inevitably face bad weather. There will be storms, droughts, and seasons where nothing seems to be growing. This is the market volatility that terrifies so many people. But if you are patient, and you let the roots take hold, after a few years, those trees will consistently produce fruit. And they will keep producing fruit, year after year, for the rest of your life. So, how do we make the jump? How do we stop hiding our money under the mattress and start planting the orchard, especially when we are terrified of losing what we've worked so hard to save? The transition doesn't happen all at once. In fact, it shouldn't. Before you even think about investing a single dime into the stock market, you need to build a fortress around your life. In America, one unexpected medical bill, a sudden job loss, or a major car transmission repair can completely derail your finances. This is where your savings account actually shines. You need to calculate 3 to 6 months' worth of your essential living expenses, your rent, your groceries, your insurance deductibles. That specific amount of money goes into a high-yield savings account. It stays there. This is your emergency shield. This is crucial because the number one reason average people lose money in the stock market is that life happens, an emergency pops up, and they are forced to sell their investments at a loss just to pay the rent. Your emergency fund ensures that you never have to interrupt your growing orchard just to survive a harsh winter. Once your shield is built, you need to perform a mental trick. You have to separate your money into 2 distinct buckets in your mind. The first bucket is your rainy day money. That is the emergency fund we just talked about. It doesn't move. It provides peace of mind. The second bucket is your wealth money. This is the money you are going to invest. And here is the secret you must accept: this bucket is supposed to fluctuate. It will go up, and it will go down. Because its job isn't to buy groceries next week, its job is to buy your freedom 10, 20, or 30 years from now. You might be thinking, that sounds great, But I don't have thousands of dollars lying around to become an investor. You don't need thousands. You don't need to be a Wall Street insider. You just need Starbucks money. Skipping a couple of food delivery orders, or making coffee at home instead of hitting the drive-thru, can free up $50 to $100 a month. Opening a brokerage account online today is literally as easy as signing up for a streaming subscription. When you are just starting out, the dollar amount doesn't matter. The goal isn't massive wealth on day one. The goal is building the habit. You are proving to yourself that you are now an investor. What do you actually buy with that $50 or $100? This is where beginners often freeze, or worse, make terrible mistakes trying to pick the next massive tech stock. Imagine walking into a massive supermarket. Trying to pick one winning stock is like betting all your money that everyone who walks in will only buy a specific brand of peanut butter. If a competitor makes a better peanut butter, you lose everything. Instead of betting on one single product, what if you could just buy a tiny piece of the entire supermarket? So no matter what people buy, you make a profit. In the investing world, this is called an index fund. For example, a fund that tracks the S&P 500. By putting your money into this one fund, you are automatically investing tiny fractions of your cash into the 500 largest, most successful companies in America all at once. You own a sliver of Apple, a sliver of Microsoft, Amazon, Visa, and hundreds more. It is highly diversified, incredibly simple, and it is exactly the strategy that legendary investors recommend for almost everyone. When you consistently put your money into these funds, something magical happens. It's called compound interest. Think of rolling a small snowball down a very long, snow-covered hill. At first, it's just a handful of ice. It doesn't look like much. But as it rolls, it picks up more snow. Then that new snow picks up even more snow. By the time it reaches the bottom of the hill, that little snowball has become a massive, unstoppable boulder. If you invest just $300 a month into the market, and leave it alone for 25 years, history shows it could grow to over $285,000. You only put in $90,000. The market, and the snowball effect, did the rest of the heavy lifting. But we have to address the elephant in the room. What happens when the market crashes? What happens when the news is screaming that the economy is falling apart? Think about Black Friday. When flat-screen TVs go on sale for 50% off, Americans line up outside stores at midnight in the freezing cold to grab a deal. People love a massive discount. You need to train your brain to view the stock market the exact same way. Market crashes are a completely normal part of the economic cycle. They happen, but instead of panicking and selling your investments like most amateurs do, experienced investors view a crashing market as the ultimate Black Friday sale. It is a rare opportunity to buy shares of America's best companies at a massive, temporary discount. By continuing to invest during a crash, you are setting yourself up for explosive growth when the economy inevitably turns around and recovers. Sarah finally realized that her savings account wasn't a safety net, it was a cage keeping her money from reaching its potential. Your bank account provides you with stability. It helps you sleep peacefully at night knowing your rent is covered. But your investment portfolio? That provides you with freedom. The ability to eventually walk away from a job you hate, the ability to travel, the ability to live life entirely on your own terms. Don't let your money sleep in a vault while you work yourself to the bone. Build your safety net, shift your mindset, buy the entire supermarket, and let the snowball roll. It is time to stop just saving, and start building your freedom.